Hey everyone, Lenny Pinna here in Garberville, California. It's a beautiful morning. It's pleasantly warm without being hot at the moment. And I thought I'd come down here and check on the seeds that I planted the last few evenings, just to look at the patches and show you what I have done. Uh, I'm noticing that my hand is shaking. And I think that's because, I'm feeling a little anxiety after having a week away and coming back and just, wondering where my future is going to unfold. So I'm going to nurture myself like the plants. And I thought I'd come down and pull some weeds or something like that to just help with this little bit of anxiety I'm feeling about the future. I thought I'd start with showing you the wild fennel bed where, I had cleaned out a lot of the tall weeds, and then I said that I was going to do some planting, little patches in between. So I just wanted to kind of show you what I'm working on. I pulled out a lot of mint in that other herb bed, but we do want mint here, and so I'd like it to be cultivated in a good way in a certain patch where we can get some really nice mint. So I've actually transplanted mint from the other places where I've taken it from and put it in a nice patch there. They look like they're very happy. In this patch here, I planted dill. I told you I was going to do that. I thought right here in the middle, it'll be really nice because they get kind of tall eventually, sort of like the fennel. I think they'll complement nicely. And then I had told you about something called borage with little purple twinkle flowers on it. So I thought I'd put those in this area. So all in all, there's going to be some other plants that fill in the wild fennel bed. So as you can see, I also chopped down all of those most of those tall dandelion stalks that had flowers and going to seed. I left that one really unusual one as a nice little visual sculpture. But I definitely cleared out more of the bed, and I put in some regular arugula right here in terms of seeds. I'm leaving this patch to take some of the wild fennel seed that's happening with the plants now, and I'm expanding it by actually planting them in this bed. So we'll have a little bit more wild fennel there next to the, wild arugula next to the arugula over there. And over here, where there's some parsley seed, I planted on both sides. This side, I have Italian parsley, and on this side, I planted curly parsley. So I basically tried to complement the bed as it is, putting some parsley, some arugula in, and we'll see what happens over on this side as I continue to evolve. So I had told you at one point that I wasn't going to do anything to this bed, but I kind of knew at some point I'm not going to let that just happen like that. Well, yesterday, Nari called me and said somebody wanted to give her a geranium and what I wanted. I said, of course, yes. And then they also asked if I wanted this succulent over here. I'm not exactly sure what it is at the moment. I'll have to find out. But I, of course, said yes. And I immediately thought of this bed because there's already sort of like these in the middle, these kind of broadleaf succulents. And they have a little bit of the same quality, have that little bit of like a peach fuzz on them, just like the one that the person gave us. So as you can see, I'm starting to clear this out too. And over time, I'm sure I'm going to be developing this bed as well. I can't wait to see the geraniums start to grow there. They're just such vivid color, and I thought that they'd be a nice complement to the lantana over there, and then eventually two beds away, there's going to be all these colorful zinnias. So I think these geraniums are going to fit in nicely. So I also told you that I was going to clear out this iris bed, and I am. So I just started here, and I thought I'd show you this because the weeds have been so thick. What I'm going to do is, after I sort of take away the dry top weeds, there's a lot of roots below. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to water this tonight so that I can soften the ground. And then I'm going to pull out all around the iris the roots of a lot of those weeds, because what should be proliferating here are the iris. There should be, by the end of summer, the beginning of other little irises next to the other iris, so that this could eventually become a full bed of iris rather than iris overcome with weeds. I'm going to do the same over here with this little bed of iris. They're next to, I kind of like these. I'm not sure what these plants are. They put out these lovely purple flowers. They're going to look nice with my other little purple twinkle flowers. But next to them, there's going to be a nice patch of a bed of irises that are going to be cleared out. And I'm noticing the dandelion over here. So I'm just going to take a moment and just acknowledge how pretty dandelion can be. This lovely weed flower just living freely out here in this space. I know in people's yards that are manicured, they might not like these kinds of things, but when they're just allowed to be free, they just are a lovely accent to the area. Look what I see over here. A monarch butterfly on the lantana. That's why I planted the lantana. Butterfly, oops, it flew off. Hi. That's why I planted the lantana, because butterflies, bees, and even hummingbirds will come around. And as you can see, the garden's looking pretty good. I did notice something over here, just to point out that one lavender that I didn't quite have a good root for, I'm not sure it's going to make it. But the other two lavender have just looked like they perked up. So I'm happy about that. So the sun is creeping up, and so I stepped up a little higher here into the shade so I could talk to you. This was my little update in the garden about the various activities I'm doing. And, it worked. Just like the lavender, I'm perking up. And it was really great to see the butterfly, the dandelion, the plants looking healthy, and anticipating the seeds coming up. All of it together definitely nurtures my soul, and I wanted to share that with you today. So thank you for joining me as always, and I'll see you next time.